Peace, family. Peace, family. How's everyone doing today? I have some announcements that I want to make, and I'm going to wait for some more people to come up in the building. I'm also going to go ahead and link in the Instagram family. Yeah. In the Instagram family. Oh, let me turn this off. Hold on one second. Yeah. Some back is some feedback. All right. Yo, the veil is so thin right now, but that's expected in, October. And if y'all hear sirens and stuff, you already know I'm literally like in Brooklyn, in New York, and it's so noisy where I'm at. All right, let me just turn this off so we can go ahead and go live. I don't even think I activated. There we go. All right. All right. Peace, family. How y'all doing? All right, I see people coming up in the building. And listen, if you are coming from Instagram, I would suggest that you go to my bio link, go to YouTube, and come over here because I'm going to be able to see all of the comments from the YouTube family, but I cannot really see them from the screen on Instagram, right? I'm able to highlight your comments up here. So you'll get some screen time, okay? Shout out to the family. How's everybody doing? What's up, boo? Where y'all coming from? I already told y'all where I'm from. I'm literally in noisy ass Brooklyn right now. What city, state, country, where y'all from? And shout out to the members. What's up, Crystal? How you doing? What's up, my eye? I miss you too, booby. Oh, Ali, it's a great time to meditate right now. The energy is really, really like, who? Okay. Shout out to Brooklyn. What's up, Cali? I need to go back to Cali. They showed me so much love in Cali. Ohio, Detroit. Okay. All right. I see some New York heads up in here. All right. North Carolina. Okay. You for where from my people from? Them Geechees, Cherokee, you know. Oh, I appreciate you, boo. Listen, I try to be as transparent as possible. So, speaking of transparency, we're going to go into some Q&A here. I know a lot of the times y'all been asking me questions, and during the lives, I never really have time to like get to y'all questions, just because I be in a moment of channeling, and yeah, it'd be a lot of comments. So, in this particular segment, we're going to be answering your questions, um, specifically about hoodoo, about ritual work, about working with spirits or saints, and also about the fast luck ritual that we have coming up. So, a quick announcement, and before I even go into the announcements, if you're new to my channel, make sure that you hit subscribe. And if you're here and you're watching this information, or if my channel um, brings you any type of new information or enlightenment anyway, just hit that thumbs up button, or support the channel. Right? When you hit that like button, it helps someone else get the video so that they can get this information. We know that there is a campaign to erase true history, to rewrite it into lies, and we understand what predictive programming is. So we have to combat that with our own knowledge, our own creativity, right? This is the time where the artists, the creatives, the innovators, the pioneers rise up, the age of Aquarius. And, you know, I want to just say, right, like for those who don't know, who's not already subscribed to my mailing list, we are having a group ritual tomorrow, Sunday, October 26th. at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to be doing a fast luck ritual. Now, what is a fast luck ritual? So, for those who have not already seen my Saint Expedite video, like I have two videos. The classic video that I made about like 6 or 7 years ago, because I've been on YouTube platform like for about a decade now, giving this information, giving y'all books and resources, giving y'all tools and teachers to study from, because I genuinely want to see you grow. I want to help you on your spiritual journey. I understand that there's a lot of gatekeeping in this community, and a lot of people in the spiritual community get mad at me because I share this information. But the truth of the matter is, we're in the age of knowing. And that time of secrecy and hiding things and gatekeeping is over, right? The information is out there. So now it's about, if the information is out there and Pandora's box has been opened, it's best that we channel that information and steer the narrative in the proper way. And what do I mean by that? Well, that's why, if you're not already following my Instagram, it's at I am Conjure Queen. But be careful, there's a lot of fake accounts that been scamming people saying that they're me and it's not. So I'll put the links in my description to my official Instagram handle. Go and follow my Instagram because, every day I've been posting these AI videos, and I know some people in the conscious community feel some type of way about it, but understand that AI is a tool, right? Magic is a tool, and these tools, we can utilize it for destruction or creation. And I'm utilizing these tools in order to enlighten our people, in order to make a little humor and comedy with it, but it's still information, it's still knowledge that's out there. Some of them are warning people about, certain magical practices that you should protect yourself from. Some videos are talking about, how to protect your children from the boo hag, from evil spirits, from sleep paralysis, even, some hoodoo tricks to bring wealth and prosperity. And that's what we're going to be doing together in a ritual tomorrow. We're going to be working with Saint Expedite, who is a very powerful saint. Now, I always suggest for those people who are very new to spirituality or who are a little bit uncomfortable or unsure of working with spirits, the saints are probably the best to start working with because they're easy to work with versus just skipping over that and working with like the Haitian Loa or working with the Orisha or working with the Neteru, right? Like that, you got to build your spiritual authority up for that. Rule number one, first of all, before even the saints, you should work with your ancestors, right? And here's the thing too. Hold on. Let me scroll down. Okay. What's up, Straight Panther? Shout out to the moderators in the building. Yes, hold it down. Always holding it down. All right. So, where was I? There's a really good book, and I always put my Amazon link in a description with a book list, right? These are books that I've read, books that I always recommend that you study, books that Bobby Hemmett, my occult teacher, has taught me. I pass it down to you so that way you can check where I get my sources from. As a journalist, you're supposed to always cite your sources when you get your information, right? So there's a book called The Power, what is it called? Working with the Magical Power of the Saints, right? Working with the Saints. Or something along that line. Sorry, I'm drawing a little bit of a blank, but if you go on my Amazon book list, you'll see it, that there's a book that you can work with, and this is one of the books I read started on my journey that took my spiritual practices to the next level, right? First, it taught me that you have to work with your ancestors, and for some people it can take up to 6 weeks or 6 months for some people to actually get contact with their ancestors. I found a way to expedite this process by burning ancestor money. I have a video on that as well on YouTube where you burn ancestor money for 7 days and you kind of like cut through that long waiting period, right? It's like expediting your petition or wish to the spirit realm and it coming back to you. So when the reason I bring that up is because I don't want to skip over our ancestors, right? Like the land, our ancestors that come from our bloodline, they're your first line of defense. Um, you know, for those who want to learn how to work more with the ancestors, check out my ancestor money ritual, ancestor money free video. I have free videos on YouTube, over 500. And for those who want to go a little bit deeper into the occult knowledge, stuff that I don't put publicly, I have those classes on my website, or you can email me and I'll send you the link to the classes. Um, the classes are in the Conjurer Society right now, but I'm going to be removing them because I'm going to be uploading a new course up there. I have a lot of things that's going on in the background, and I know I've been saying this for a while, but stay tuned because it's all going to manifest beautifully, right? Isn't that what the spirits say to us? When we want something right now, you ever did like a ritual and you totally forgot about it because it took a while to happen, but by the time that spell or ritual manifested, it manifested way better than what you even imagined, right? Like that's what's going to start happening for a lot of us. Now tomorrow, to talk a little bit more about Saint Expedite's ritual, you know what, I missed the rituals too. We haven't done a ritual since what, like, when's the last time we did a group ritual, y'all? What was it, like in March? It was springtime. It was springtime because summertime I was just traveling. I was in Japan. Like I was really just studying and focusing on myself. And that's why I'm bringing this knowledge and information. I'm going to do some new rituals with y'all, some Eastern mysticism and magic I learned over there in Japan, China. Listen, like, Spirit told me stop talking so much, so I'm just going to say, watch and see. But tomorrow, for Saint Expedite ritual, I pinned the link, guys. Is it still Straight Panther? I think the link is still pinned. Just confirm for me. I have pinned the link to the ritual for those who want to RSVP. For the group ritual that's coming up. Now, understand that once the window closes for this event, this ritual, it's going to be live, right? Like I'm going to be doing it live. I'm going to be telling you how to use it. It's going to be a how-to demonstration video, right? Like just teaching you step by step how to work with Saint Expedite and everything and how I get my success. Because there's some people who say they had issues with petitioning him. So I'm going to show you how Saint Expedite taught me how to work with him. And every time I've worked with him, it always manifests. He's helped me find an apartment where I had nowhere to go. I was literally like staying in a hotel. And Saint Expedite changed my life. He got me out of a court case situation. Wow. Listen, let's just say I would have been in jail, but Saint Expedite got me out of that. Like he helped me with a job. Like he's helped me so much. Like I have to probably just do a story time video to tell y'all. But if you're sketchy about it, which you should be, always sketchy about something that's unfamiliar with you, do your research. Check out the testimonials in my video on YouTube. It's over 1,500 comments with people just testifying about how Saint Expedite has helped them. These are real people. These are not bots. You can go and click on their profile and see that these are actual human people, right? With real stories. Okay? Saint Expedite is going to change your life. Saint Expedite, when I tell you he brings fast, people can tell you. Anybody in here ever worked with Saint Expedite? Let them know how he works, because one thing for certain, some people even say he works faster in less than 24 hours. He'll come through for you. Like that's how fast he works. So I always suggest that you have your pound cake ready, because as soon as he comes through, he's ready for that pound cake. Like don't procrastinate when it comes to his offering. You give the offering afterwards, but it's best to have it on deck. Okay? Because one of the worst things that you can do when it comes to working with spirits is you not come through with your end of the bargain. It's a contract. Aisha, thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, like he comes through miraculously, like in different situations, whether it's money, court case, fast luck, um, listen, all of that. St. Expedite even helped me get my freaking driver's license. Okay, like it's hard getting a freaking driver's license in New York. Well, when I was getting it, like the instructors was just, ugh. Anyway, he's helped me a lot. Brooklyn, St. Expedite is amazing. He came through when I thought there was nothing to be done. And that's the time when you call him. You call him when you literally need a miracle, right? Like when you feel like your funds is low, or you in a pinch, the bills is due, right? Like the first of the month is coming up. November 1st is coming up, and most of us got to pay rent, got to pay bills, got to pay, whatever it is, your expenses, we got to pay that. And you know what? Like, I'll just say this, right? I remember I only had $18 to my bank account. Yo, this was like in 2016. I had like $18 to my bank account. I had just like quit my corporate job in 2015, never looked back, and I wanted to fully pursue my entrepreneur journey. And I'm not going to tell you it was easy, right? Like there were times where I struggled, where I had to make sacrifices. And I remember I only had $18 in my bank account, and I didn't know how the hell was I going to pay my rent. My rent was $9.50. That's when rent was cheap in New York. My rent was $9.50. I was living alone. I didn't have any roommates and any family members to help me, so I had to figure out like, yo, how am I going to pay this rent, feed myself, and still support my business? I literally petitioned St. Expedite, and I said, listen, like I don't know how this is gonna work, but I need help. And with those last $18, I had ended up, somebody hit me up and was like, hey, there's an event happening tonight. Like I used to vend my candles. I had a candle business, and for those who know me way back, you probably know what I'm talking about. Evanescence candles, and they was like, hey, we got a pop-up event, you should come through and vend. Yo, I'm like, I only got $18. Like, I got to pay the vending fee. I got to get over there. Like, I was coming from a lack mindset. And I just heard a spirit say, go, just go, just trust that it's going to work out. So I said, screw it. You know what? I only got $18 in my bank account. Let me go ahead, use this money to go over there, and I'm going to figure it out. Y'all, tell me how. I literally sold all of my products. I met some really amazing people there who connected me to other people who wanted to put in orders in advance, okay, for more candles for other things. So Spirit literally set me up, and the test was, can you walk, blindly with faith? Walking with faith without sight, right? So I was able to pay my rent. Not only that, but yo, I ended up getting an opportunity to even move out of that small little studio apartment into something better. Like only because I took that sacrifice. Only $18 in my bank account, right? Like, yo, life changing. And some of y'all remember the story when I told you I was literally staying in a hotel and I didn't have any spiritual products or nothing. And I said, yo, like all I had was a glass, the little glass that comes in a hotel room. I filled it up with water. I had a little tea light candle, and I wrote my petition on a napkin, y'all. This is like, I'm telling y'all, like I've been through the trenches, okay? And so I wrote it, and I just put all my faith into it. Like, yo, I need a place to stay. And Spirit came through. Why am I telling you this story, right? Because I'm telling you that it's not about you having all the materials, having all of the money up front, right? Like sometimes you have to trust that your current situation is not going to be your future situation. It can change overnight. Girl, I'm saying though, somebody in here testify because they not hearing us though. They are not hearing us. Can Saint Expedite heal me? I've been horribly sick for almost 5 years. My luck has been completely out of the moment. I've tried everything. Cherry, here's what I'm going to say. Saint Expedite is a mercurial spirit. Mercury deals with health, the mind, communication, medicine, healing. But people don't also realize that Saint Expedite is also Papa Gede, right? He's also a Gede spirit. um that's why he holds the cross, right? Like, I'm gonna go more deeper into that for those who join the ritual, because there's certain mysteries with him. Like, the more you get to know Saint Expedite, the more he'll reveal himself to you. Just like people, you don't know a person when they're a stranger. You hang out with them, talk to them some more, you get to know more. Like, they unravel. Cherry, honestly, I would tell you, I had worked with a client who had some health problems before, like life-threatening health problems. And first, I have to say, for legal purposes, I am not a doctor, right? In the Western sense, but our ancestors used root work and spiritual, right? Spiritual doctors to heal people. I had worked with a client who had an illness, and we worked with, for her, we worked with Saint Expedite and Saint Jude. I like to work with St. Jude when you need to get somebody out of jail, when you need an extra miracle when it comes to health, like a health crisis, along with St. Expedite. So I work with saints and spirits together. It's kind of like chemistry or alchemy, right? Knowing what works with what. And thank you so much for the donation, Forever Elegant. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ali Robert. Thank you. Your donations definitely help the channel. Okay. um I would say join, if you can, my love, join our ritual tomorrow. The link is pinned. Hold on, let me see if I could open this up. Hold on, you might hear a little feedback. Tomorrow. Okay, pause that. And I think there's like 131 people in here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Don't be a monitoring spirit just lurking, being nosy. And if you're on Instagram, come over here to YouTube so you can get some screen time. Okay? So if you can join our ritual tomorrow, I put the link in the description. Oh yeah, it's pinned up there. It's still pinned. Okay. So he helped me get out of jury duty when I wasn't feeling great. 30 seconds later, they let me go. Woo, yes, girl. I love it. Um, so let me get to some of these questions. Let me see. So, hotel graduate here, got my apartment in a few. Oh, congratulations, my love. Congratulations. So you already know. Okay. So this is an excellent question. Is it okay to burn 2 candles for different situations with him, or one at a time? Well, you see, you can burn 2 candles for him, right? Because let's say if I'm working with 2 different clients, right? I can still work with Saint Expedite and use 2 different candles for 2 different situations on that client's behalf, which I do. But if it's for you, my love, like if you're doing it for yourself, I would suggest ask for one thing at a time. Because the thing with Saint Expedite, because he is a mercurial spirit, he's a trickster. So be very specific in what you ask for, and don't ask for so much in one petition, because what happens if he fulfills two, 1 out of 2 or 3 of your requests? Are you going to withhold his offerings? Well, then you see, it can create an issue with the contract, because he can say, hey, listen, I came through with what you wanted. I didn't get you all of that other stuff, but I did come through. Now, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's better for you to just have one thing. Let him come through with that. And then once he come through with that, you do the next ritual. That's just my suggestion, right? Everybody has their own method. So you can go ahead and do it that way. You can hit me up and I can do it for you. I do root work for people. But I'm very selective with it, right? I don't just do it for everybody because I literally have to put time and energy into these rituals to make sure people get the results that they want. Okay, if you never gave pound cake, which is his offerings usually, if he accepts the ghost notes, then that works out. You see, like he works differently with different people. A good day to work with him, and Diane, that's a good question. If you're in a pinch, you could work with him any day because Mercury is, he can warp between time, space, days. I like to work with Saint Expedite on Wednesdays. Some people work with him on Tuesdays. It depends on your spiritual tradition. But I like Wednesday because it's literally hump day, the crossroads in between the week, right? In the middle day of the week. And he can also open up roads for you, right? Like look at his image. Look and say Expedite's image. He's holding a cross. Get out of your mind that the cross only means Christianity. The cross existed before the Christian religion even came into being. These are symbols, and a really good book that you need to get is Signs and Symbols. It's on my Amazon link. It's an orange book, hardcover book, and it's a book that every spiritualist, student of esoteric knowledge should have. Okay, the cross is basically a symbol of as above, so below, as within, so without. And I teach this in my rituals that y'all do. I'll go deeper into it there, but when you look at the cross, it's like an intersection, two lines intersecting. The vertical lines, which is up and down, represents the heavens, right? As above, so below. And the horizontal line is more so about the material plane, right? The physical world, or earth, here on matter. When those two cross, you're able to cross between the worlds, right? That's why sometimes you will use crosses in your rituals to represent like crossing between the spiritual realm, calling the spirit in, or banishing the spirit out. And y'all who already took my spiritism and mediumship class, y'all already know this. Y'all should know this, about how to work with spirits, right? The symbols that you work with. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, my love. I hope that we'll be able to see you in a ritual tomorrow. Let me see. Let me get to some more of these questions. If you do a super chat, your question will pop up and it'll be easier for me to see it because I do see a lot of comments on my end over here. Let me scroll back up. I think I missed some. And I hear they saying that they're going to cut out food stamps and people are really worried right now. I would just say my spirit told me it's nothing that we need to worry about. They're trying to spread fear and misinformation within the media. But the truth is, this is the thing, right? We asked for the system to come crumbling down. We asked that the systems that's making us lazy, complacent, dependent on a government that doesn't really care for us, keeping us perpetually enslaved in the mind and financially. We asked that these systems be taken down. We did a whole entire ritual to bring them down. And literally after we did that ritual on the Aries full moon, that's when that whole pandemic shit happened. The world shut down. That's when all of these world leaders started to get exposed about, pedophilia and the child sex trafficking rings. Like, all of that stuff started to come to the forefront. I want y'all to know that everyone who participated in that ritual, we had a hand in that. We have the power to shift reality. I want you to realize how powerful you are. That's what my channel is about. It's not about me. It's about me sharing the information that I have, but it's to empower the people, to give you the knowledge. Knowledge is power. I can't force you to use it. You could do whatever you want with the knowledge, right? I can't affect that, but I give you what I know. Okay, let me scroll down. Don't worry about that. You're going to be okay. The system is going to come crumbling down, and money as we know it is not going to exist anymore. And I know that sounds crazy. A world without capitalism, a world without money as we know it. Well, let's think about it for a moment, right? Um, if the financial system crashes and money, fiat money as we know it, doesn't exist, more people, right? Like the job industry is crumbling too, but there's a reason for that because people are not going to want to have jobs anymore. They're going to want to work for themselves. They're going to want to create their own stuff. You know, do you enjoy working for somebody else? Like, I honestly don't know anybody who says they enjoy working for somebody else. It may bring you stability, yes, right? Like having a business, you're going to work way more than if you're working for somebody else. I'm just telling you this. I didn't know that. Okay? You're going to work 24/7, not 8 hours a day, not 9 to 5. You're going to work 24/7 when you first start. So be ready for that until you can start hiring and getting help from other people who can help you grow your empire, your business. More people are going to step into the creative space because more people are quitting their jobs and they're not looking back. More people are starting to see the lies in this capitalistic system. It's falling apart. The educational system, the healthcare system, AI is changing everything. Where now, you can become the next best, you know, bookseller. You can become the next best animator, the next best musician. There's no gatekeepers anymore, and so literally Pandora's box has been opened. The Prometheus flame has been ignited, right? Like this is what's happening now where we're in such a pivotal moment in history where we can't go back. Okay? So even certain ways of working with spirits is also shifting and adapting, right? Like the old ways of keeping secrets and having to go through these initiations and stuff in order to get the secrets. Now, I'm not going to sit here and disrespect any of the religions that do hold secret practices, right? That are ancient. I'm not. But what I realize is that um, the spirits are realizing that a lot of corrupt people are taking advantage of these spiritual um, rankings, right? Like there's high priests, high priestesses that are literally um, molesting and abusing their people that's in their houses. There's stories, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all that's in the spiritual community heard stories about, people in certain spiritual houses beefing, throwing witchcraft at each other, and all of that drama and stuff, right? Like, that's even shutting down because it's a lot of ego, right? Today's human beings have a lot of more ego than what they once did before when those practices of secretness was necessary. So of course, people that are still old fashioned may get upset with my content because since I came out in 2015 on YouTube, I've just been from the gate like just giving the information, giving the resources, giving the links, giving the books, and that wasn't known then. Why did I start doing that? Because Bobby Hemmett influenced me. My teaching style is similar to Bobby Hemmett, where I give you books and resources to do more research and information. I don't just jump on YouTube and say, listen to what I say, and if you don't listen to what I'm saying, you're going to go to hell. If you don't do exactly what I say, your ritual is not going to work. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's up, Atara? Hey, Queen, I signed up to do the ritual, but I wanted to work with other entities as well. Are you still doing readings? I'm stuck and need to know where to start. So, to answer the first question, Booby, you want to work with two different entities. If you can do that, sure, right? Like, once again, I'm not telling you can't. Am I doing readings? Not in the way that I used to do them. Just on a very selective basis, just because of time. But I would just say shoot me an email if you can. My website is iamconjurequeen.com. You probably, I think you already subscribed to my email list though, boo. Um, but yeah, hold on. Let me scroll back up. Hold on. You can give him any type of pound cake. They got Entenmann's pound cake, Sara Lee's pound cake. Go into the bodega, getting that 50 cent little thing of pound cake. Those little Debbie cake pound cakes. Is it Debbie cake pound cakes? I forget the name of it, but it's like we in New York, so like there's like 50 cent little cakes that we have. I don't know if they have that at other places. Um, but you know, that's like if you're in a pinch and you give what you can. But once again, like if he comes through for you, you're gonna have the money. So don't be stingy if you can give. You know what I'm saying? Give, and also give a public shout out. That's why there's so many testimonials on my Saint Expedite Fast Luck video on YouTube. There's two of them. The classical one that I did, the first one like 6, 7 years ago, that, like I said, is over 1,000 and something comments of testimonials of real people telling you their situation and what he did for them. Same with the 16 penny ritual, right? I learned that ritual from Bobby Hemmett with Papa Legba, and there's testimonials for that. Oh yeah, be careful with the language, or I think sometimes YouTube flags it. Thank you, Straight Panther. What's up, Amir? How you doing, boo? What's up, Faith? Kaja Queen, remember a few months back when you were on live, we said what we already knew was about to take place now? Well, it's going to be a shit show, y'all. More chaos, more mayhem, and etc. Well, Faith, I mean, we called it, right? Like, all of this stuff is happening, and that's why I want you to stay grounded. Um, Rituals, so I always say doing a group ritual, sorry, doing a ritual by yourself is still powerful. You are a powerful being, right? And this is for everybody that's listening here. Doing a ritual by yourself is very powerful. But when you do it with a group of people who are all on the same frequency, who all have the same intentions, right? Like all of us are powerful together. That's how you're able to manipulate matter and move things in reality. That's how we get shit done. And not only that, but it brings a sense of community and grounding. This is what the spirits want right now. We need unity and togetherness. There's some people that told me, Conjure Queen, you need to get back on your rituals because the group rituals was keeping people, like, keeping them going with the spirituality, right? Like, it's easy to get distracted with everything that's going on. And sometimes when you have a regular ritual that pops up, it keeps you on track. It keeps you in the flow with the spirit. Oh, well, if we talking about the crossroad ritual, I call on Papa Legba, but Eshu is also at the crossroads, right? Like he's a mercurial spirit. So Mercury is a trickster. He can transform into many things, right? Like in Japan, he's known as the fox spirit, the kitsune, right? And whenever you go to Japan, you'll see that they'll have these two twin foxes that's sitting right before you come into the certain temples, because the fox spirit, they say in certain mythologies that you have like the Riddler, or you have the Sphinx, or you have some type of a person who stands by the door, and you have to answer you have to solve the riddle or have the secret password or be smart enough to get through, right? He's the gatekeeper. So He has many different faces. He can transform. For those who have taken ayahuasca or mushrooms or any type of psychedelic, you probably think that the jester or the clown spirit, right? Um, I know I did. And they say whenever you see the clown spirit, like, that's a Legba. That's Eshu. That is the crossroad spirits. That's him. They say he's the devil, but don't. Who is saying that he's the devil? What was it, American Horror Story, that they confused Papa Legba with Baron Samedi? I'm like, yo, those are two different entities, completely different. Baron is in the cemetery, but you know what? I can't. I'm just gonna explain that the reference between the correspondence between Saint Expedite and Papa Gede and Baron Samedi, right? Similar spirits, right? That's like saying if you have siblings and y'all come from the same mom and same dad, right? Like the same spiritual house. You're not the same as your sibling, right? Like y'all all have your own different spirit. Even though y'all may come from the same soul family, it's the same with like spiritual families. That's why in the Haitian voodoo, they have like the family of Oguns, the family of Orzuli, the family of different spirits. It's not just one. The Sphinx is good. He's still acting up, being his little mischievous self. But I know why he's acting up though, y'all. It's the frequencies. A lot of people have been saying that their ears have been ringing more than normal, and like also like ear popping, tingling, ear popping, ear itching. You're not bugging. If that's happening to you, nothing, like there's no health issues. A lot of us are going through that. Okay, your clear audience can be turning on. I will repeat, your clear audience is turning on. Some of y'all are sitting here trying to be clairvoyant, and not everybody is a seer. There's some people that can feel spirits, they're clairsentient. There's some people who can hear spirits, right? That's clairaudient. Some people can smell them. It's about knowing and understanding what your clair is. How do we put ourselves in alignment for spirits to come to us naturally? Well, that's the law of correspondence. So, in my ebook, Breaking Out the Matrix, I talk about the 7 universal principles, and one of them is the law of correspondence. Now, when you think about the law of correspondence, that's just similarly saying like as within, so as above, so below, as within, so without, right? Like what you do to one thing affects something else. So let's say, for instance, if you're trying to attract, well, let's talk about money, right? Like Fast Luck with Saint Expedite. He's good for bringing money, for helping you win the lottery, for helping you in all types of situations, get that job. So he's going to align your energy with that. That's why in the ritual, if you guys click on the link, there's certain material that I say to have or to bring that helps to align your energy, so that way you can be in the same wavelength of that spirit, right? The reason why people can hex you is because your vibration is so low that that negative entity is able to latch itself onto you. You can read more about this in Dion Fortune's book called, what's it called? Psychic Self-Defense. I think this book came out like in the 60s, 70s. I don't know. I don't want to lie, because I read a lot of books that's old, like 1800s. There's some books from the 1700s that I've found links to, like crazy. But that's how you get in alignment. You understand what that spirit energy is, and then you align with it. What's up, Mia? Mia Roberts. What's up, Leslie? Shout out to the moderator. Shout out to the members too in the building. What is your question? It's a lot of people asking questions here, so if I skip over your question, it's not intentional. The super chats actually stand out. That's how I was able to see these comments here, because they're highlighted. Let's see. Definitely a lot of earring. Yeah, it's kind of like some people's ears might be popping or feeling like it's clogged up, like when you on a plane. That's the frequency shift, right? Air pockets. The earth is moving into a higher frequency, and those who are more sensitive, we feel it. Those can show up as like flu-like symptoms. These are ascension symptoms. Flu-like symptoms, body aches, feeling tired no matter how much you sleep, you eating well, but you might be, purging a lot, like defecating, urinating, some people crying, vomiting. You're releasing these fluids that no longer serve you. Okay. Yeah, the fall season is very different. Like even in New York, it's not normal for it to still be this sunny and nice. And not only that, but there's still green leaves on the trees. Like by now they would have been fell off. That's how I know that, you know, nature is just doing its own thing right now. Well, if you need Saint Expedite, boo, listen, join our ritual tomorrow. The link is pinned. And thank you so much for hitting that like button. For those who are coming in, if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe so you'll be notified when we go live. I most likely will be making a separate channel. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. I'll probably do another video about this, but I'm probably going to be making a separate channel only for shorts. Only for shorts, and probably just keep this channel for my live streams and long form content. Just letting you know. So just stay tuned for that. In the UK, you can substitute the pound cake for Madeira cake. Oh, thank you for that, boo. Thank you. She just gave y'all a good tip. Thank you, Crystal. Yes, it's psychic self-defense. And um there's a lot of books that have that title. So just make sure you get the right one. That's why I put the book in my book list. Same with signs and symbols. Oh yeah, vertigo. Vertigo is a sign too. Thank you for mentioning that, Ellen. Vertigo is a sign of spiritual ascension symptoms. Like some people may feel like they're pregnant, going through birth pains or labor pains, because it's the releasing, it's the birthing of a new season, a new you, right? Like a new life. Literally going through the underworld. We're in Scorpio season now. Shout out to the Scorpios. Any Scorpios in the building? Happy birthday. Uh-oh, this sounds like drama. Getting ready to fight my greedy landlords who illegally subletting their apartment. They're not occupied in 16 years. Raise my rent by 145 and a rent protecting. You sound like you in New York, because that sounds like some New York bullshit, because that's what they've been trying to do over here too. A lot of people been complaining about these landlords are just doing sneaky shit ever since the pandemic. Businesses, landlords, like everybody's doing like sneaky stuff, like scamming tenants, scamming customers. People was there was a internal investigation. People were stealing people's food stamps inside the food stamp office. Like even the phone companies is out here selling your information. Those telemarketers been going ham with the spam, sending those text messages talking about they got job offers here and there. Like it's just getting crazy. Listen, I hope you could join the Set Expedite ritual tomorrow because, like I said, he helps with court cases. He'll get your shit dismissed. Like, it'll be crazy where you won't even understand how fast it happened. Like, they might just drop the case. They might automatically be like, you know what? Let's not even go against her. Let's not go against him. I'm telling you. That's that detox. I've been having ringing in my ears, and like I said, if you want IG, come over here to YouTube so I can answer your questions because that's how I'm able to see it up here. I've been having ringing in my ears and like chills on my body jerks when I think about a certain person or situation. Ooh. Yeah, you might be clairsentient, boo. Your body is picking up on something with that person. I think you need to take some time to sit down, meditate with that, and ask your spirit guides, like, why am I feeling like this with this person? It could be you don't, it's something about their spirit that is not in alignment with yours, right? Um, I don't want to jump the gun and say, oh, this person may have like evil intentions towards you, but some people, they just have a certain energy that you pick up on. I find that putting a little bit of apple cider vinegar in your ear helps with like ear infections or ear issues. Mix it with a little bit of water and put some apple cider vinegar in your ear, like on a Q-tip. Even though they say you're not supposed to stick Q-tips in your ear, but once in a while it's fine. It cleans your ears out and it'll help with that the itching, the earaches too. I think it's also safe for babies, but just double check that. Always double check what I tell you. Yep. The skies are red, like a dusty red. I have been feeling slightly nauseous here and there, very tired. Everything is instant, having tingling in my body. Oh, Mia, you making me think about that last live that I did when I was in an Uber and that man was smelling so crazy. Like, I think our senses is just really heightened right now, right? Like just being around other people who have stink auras, negative energy, like, and it's not like we tooting up our nose at them like we're better, because I don't subscribe to that. I don't think I'm better than anybody. Everybody has their own, you know, purpose. Everybody's good at something, but when people energy is just not vibrating on your frequency, you can pick up on that and it will throw you off. Hold on one second. Hey boo, yo CQ, serious question. Would you prefer me to pay a double fee just in case my sister does the ritual with me, or is it cool to just pay for as she attends? Well, no, no. Like if she gonna do it with you, no, you don't gotta pay twice, boo. Why would I do that? No, no. And I make these rituals as affordable as possible because if you go and you look and see what other people are charging for their rituals and shit, like I had looked at my prices like, yo, is my prices too low? Because there's people that's charging like, 50s, 60s, 80s. I'm like, you know what? I want to keep it low because you also have to buy the materials, to get the stuff. And this is if you can get the materials, right? Like all of the stuff that you need for the ritual is in the Eventbrite page. Now, I always say, right, there's some people who have joined our ritual who literally didn't have any of the materials because they literally couldn't get it last minute. And they still manifested what they needed. Why? Because they understand the power of the mind. Spell work is all about visualizing it. Now, that's for advanced people. There's some people who can just sit there and visually do a spell in their mind's eye and get the results. Those are people who tend to really be really good with like telepathic stuff, telekinetic stuff. Like they kind of their visualizing meditation game is strong. Okay, but it's possible for you too to do that. It just takes concentration. Social media dumbed our concentration a little bit, right? All of us, and that's okay because we're aware of it and we're doing better, right? Um, but come with what you have. If you don't have a red candle, then use a white one, right? Use a tea light. Use what you have. If you don't have bergamot oil, you know what? Okay, you know what? Get some olive oil from your kitchen. I try to use stuff that's easy to get, like cinnamon powder, like things you can go to the grocery store, things that most people have in their kitchen, like sugar, salt, okay, a glass of water, because this is in Hoodoo, this is what we worked with. We didn't have a lot of money. Times was hard. We couldn't afford to go to the doctor. We couldn't afford all of that stuff. So we had to use what we could around the land, in our kitchen, in our home. We couldn't afford to go to the doctor if your kid bust their head open playing. Like you had to go get some cobwebs in the corner and put some cobwebs on their wound. If you ever bleed and have a wound, get some cobwebs and put it up there. It'll stop the bleeding. That's an old hoodoo trick. Okay, sacred. I've worked with an expert in the past a few times and he never seemed to go or come through. Do you know what may be the reason why? So here's the thing, my love, and I'm not saying that this is you, but there's some people who do not have realistic petitions. And what I mean by not realistic, I believe that, you should always dream big and reach for the stars, but at the same time, I always say my motto, be fucking for real. Okay? Like this ask yourself, is it like there's some people who literally petition is I want to wake up tomorrow and be a billionaire. I want $1 billion in my account. Now, are you being fucking for real right now? You see what I'm saying? And like I said, sacred spirit, this is not towards you because I'm not saying that you do this, right? But that is one of the reasons why I say expedite won't come through for you when you asking for something. Because first of all, realistically, how is $1 billion going to go into your bank account overnight? Okay, say expedite will move things in your favor. He's a little different from the rest of the saints because he kind of works like the petro spirits in Haitian voodoo, right? Um, the difference between most of the saints and Saint Expedite is when it comes to working with archangels and saints, they move slow and they they move in a way where it's like they have to make sure that everything aligns in a certain way versus petro spirits or gede spirits or saint expedite, for example, they rip things, they it's like they're ripping and grabbing things from all over to get it done, right? Like by any means. um and sometimes that's the energy that we need at that time, right? Like a strong boost, like I need this by any means necessary. And of course you can say, may no harm come to, anyone. But let's be for real. If you asking for a job from St. Expedite and you saying may no harm come to none, you might be blocking yourself in a way, because in order for you to get that job, that means somebody else is not going to get that. So are you saying that that person deserves that job more than you because you don't want to hurt them? You see what I mean by how, it's a slippery slope when it comes to ethics and magic. And in Hoodoo, we didn't believe none of that. That's some new age shit. I'm just telling y'all, okay? Like, if that's what you follow, I'm not shitting on your cultural beliefs. In Wicca, they do that. But I'm saying this is Hoodoo, right? The indigenous practices, they didn't believe in that. They believe that if somebody F with you, you have every right to get even, okay? If somebody is literally going around, they know that you married, they know that's your man, and she's smiling in your face and she's trying to fuck on your dude, you have every right to do what you got to do to her to get her out the way, because now she's being disrespectful and playing in your face. Okay? Like, this is what I mean. Every situation is different and everybody has their feelings about it, but that's why a lot of spiritualists lose their clients and their clients come to me, because a lot of spiritualists don't want to touch certain things because they don't believe in, what is it? They believe in harm none, only love and light. But there's some entities that you can't just burn sage to make them go away. A line of salt by the door may not be enough for what you're facing. Okay? Some of y'all are stronger than that, and you need more than just a salt bath to get off negative energy, because you are such a powerful magnet that you attract stronger beings and energies to you. You know what, love? And this is not like, for people who work with certain spirits, there's some spirits that just don't resonate with you. They won't work with you, right? Like, and then you got to also ask yourself, do you really resonate with this spirit? I find that when a spirit doesn't want to work with you, that's when you have to find somebody who already worked with that spirit. That's where I would come in, right? Like, that's similar to, like, if you're trying to get a job and it's really like well-known multi-million-dollar company and you don't know anybody in there, the chances of you getting that job versus somebody who knows the interviewer, knows the CEO, the president, like, they gonna get it. And why do I say that? Because, it's not about what you know, it's who you know. And as a spiritualist, we develop relationships with these spirits. So they may not know you, but if you come to me and say, hey, listen, can you put in a good word for me with so-and-so, St. Expedite, St. Martha, da-da-da. I'm like, all right, I'll do that for you, because if I go to the spirit and say, hey, listen, I need you to do a favor for me on behalf of this person, they're going to do it because they know me. And it's similar to you when it comes to your ancestors, right? Like, nobody can work with your ancestors the best way that you can. I hope that was a great question. I'm happy she asked that, because that's for anybody who's watching this who had that question about St. Expedite when he didn't work out for you. He may just not resonate with you, and that's okay. There's some spirits that I don't really resonate with, and that's okay. We don't resonate with everybody or everything. Oh, okay. Carbon Dragonfly, listen. This is something important. I should have mentioned this in the beginning. This is going to be a live ritual, but it's going to be recorded. So for those who have work, for those who have school, for those who have other things to do and you're not able to be there during the time of the live, if you RSVP before the window closes, you will still have access to that link. It's going to be a recording. Okay, it's a live video that is recorded in the same link, the access link that you'll have access to once you RSVP and you're in. You'll have that link for life. That's yours. So what people do is when they can't make it during the live, they'll still RSVP and they'll go back into it and do the ritual. Some people will go back once they have all of the ingredients. Absolutely. I love wine and rituals. That was a great question, right? Thank you, Faith. You know what? Oh my God. I'm happy. I'm happy that you said that. Yes, Papa Legba does reveal himself in due time. He expects you to do the work too, though. Thank you, Boo, because here's the thing with spirits. They will test you to see what you're asking for is really what you want. There's a saying upon the Netteru that says, the Netteru and the gods help those who help themselves. If you're the type of person that's not putting in any effort, you're trying to get a job, but you're not putting in any resumes, you're not out there applying, you're not even looking online to figure out what you want, what the job market's like. You're not trying to go to any classes to improve your skills, to develop some talents, nothing. Why would the spirit help you? Would you help somebody who's sitting on their ass all day but they asking you for money? No, you're going to be more than likely willing to help somebody who you see is struggling, who trying to get on their feet. It moves you to want to help them. No? I mean, it moves me when I see somebody trying. It makes me be like, damn, you know what? I want to help you. I see what you're trying to do. I want to see your vision come to light. Shout out to Bobby. The window closes tomorrow. So because this is a very it's a pop-up ritual, literally last minute, I extended the time for tomorrow for right before the ritual start. So the ritual is going to start live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sunday, October 26th. It's going to be a live video. I will be hosting it and I'm going to demonstrate to you step by step how we're going to work with Saint Expedite. So it's like a class and a ritual all together. You're going to learn. We're going to make it fun. Don't worry about it. If you want to bring your wine, who said that? Yep, bring your wine. If you want to bring your wine and drink, why not? Sometimes we turn up after the rituals. That's powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Crystal. What, the ritual? Oh, I see what you asking. So once you RSVP for the ritual, you have to go to the link. It's going to take you to Eventbrite. Once you put your name and information and everything and you get locked into the ritual, you're going to see the access link. Go back to the Eventbrite page and it's going to say access link. Once you click that, it's going to send you to a private video. Yes. Yes, you can use the wine as an offering. Okay, Carbon, you asked the question. I was taught, so my family from the South. I'm not sure where your family from, but I know some places in the Caribbean and the South, they say itching hands means money is coming. But I was told that the left hand, if your left hand itches, that means that you're going to lose money. And if the right hand itches, that means that money's coming your way. But then I don't know because I'm like, I was taught that the left hand is the receiving hand and the right hand is the giving hand. So listen, whenever my hands itch, I just say if money is coming, okay, it's coming my way. You in somebody's bottle or you was drinking. Man, you turned up. I mean, it is Saturday. I'm not even mad at you. Take a shot for me. So here's the thing, right? I think that you have a greater chance of success when you work in rituals, like group rituals, than by yourself. But once again, I'm not telling you you can't do it by yourself. I'm just saying that there's a belief that our ancestors, we used to do our group rituals together because that's how you gain the attention of the gods, right? More energies, more frequencies, more light. It's like sending out an SOS to the spirit realm saying, hey, listen, there's a group of people here that's calling on this saint. He obviously needs to be there, right? Like it kind of compels them to come. That's what I'm going to teach you too tomorrow is ways to kind of compel the spirit to do your bidding, right? I'm not saying binding the spirit like certain practices because I don't do that. That actually backfires. That's just my opinion. When there's certain practices where they tell you you have to put yourself in a circle and bind the spirit and command it, um, that's I wouldn't do that. That's what Aleister Crowley was doing, and even though Aleister Crowley got some really interesting um, books and information because he studied ancient books. His family was rich, so he had access to books and information that is not accessible to other people. And even to this day, in New York City and Queens, I went to some of those. They still have his temples and his libraries. There's certain houses or certain temples that still have these books there, right? But you have to be a part of that particular group. But yes, boo. Join us tomorrow. Whatever your petition is, you don't have to tell everybody here if you don't feel comfortable with that, right? But just make sure that it's realistic. Okay? Make sure that you can see yourself getting that because visualization is everything. Because if you don't believe that you're worthy enough to receive blessings, then it's not going to come. Put some peppermint oil on your hands then. He likes pound cake. He likes red roses. He likes public shout out. That's his number one thing. Like he's like, listen, if I came through for you, you better tell everybody and their mama what I did. Y'all know say expedite, and he'll keep coming through for you. That's how you build relationships with the spirit. You gotta have a good reputation out here in these spiritual streets because you best to believe if you known for not coming through your end of the bargain and shortchanging spirits, like oh my god, I've seen stuff that happened to people who tried to do some funny business with the spirits and their life ended up flipping upside down. Those are the people that be out here lying on YouTube talking about don't do the spiritual stuff because it's demonic and it's going to get you. It ain't demonic. They just didn't understand what they was doing. They was asking for things that they didn't know how to properly pay, right? And they probably ended up short-sighting the spirit, and the spirit backlashed on them. That's what happened. When I went to Egypt and I was over there studying the Egyptian magic, I was by one of the pyramids, and I'm just thinking of a story right now. I was by one of the pyramids and I was like, "Oh, let me grab some of this sand because I can use this sand for some magic." Now, I don't know what I was thinking that it was going to be okay just to take the sand and not, put anything down, but I quickly found out that was a big mistake. That day, when I tell you mad bad things just started happening, like literally, y'all, like it was like the spirit was like kind of on my back until I had to go back and throw it over a river and put it back and ask for it nicely. When I went to go take my money out of the ATM, why my money got jammed up in there and it blocked up the ATM, and now nobody else was able to get their money out. Then something else happened where I ended up had I ate something and got like food poisoning. All of that shit was happening in one day. Probably some other stuff happened, and then I thought something was like, oh, I took that sand from that pyramid over there, not realizing like a lot of those places is like cemeteries. That's like going into a cemetery, taking some cemetery dirt and not paying the spirit. That's what I did. So the Netaru or whatever entity was on my ass. So the next day I had to go by I had to throw it over my shoulder near a river. So that's what the spirit told me to do. It was like you have to discard it, and it was like go next to running water. It was a river nearby. I went by the river, I threw it over my shoulder, I asked for forgiveness, and then when I went back over there, I ended up, giving the spirit payment, and then I was able to take it, and then my luck got better. Now, a lot of spiritualists is not going to tell you when they get their ass whooped by spirits, because that would ultimately make them look like they're not strong enough or they're weak. But I'm telling you this because I'm telling you, even those of us who are versed in spirituality, we make fuck ups. Spirits still kick our ass when we do things wrong, right? That was my learning lesson, and I'll never do that again. Right? If we live and we learn, that's all we can do. And I talk about my mistakes because obviously, I don't want you to make the same mistake I did. Right? The only difference between the student and the teacher is the teacher made more mistakes. Wisdom. That's the only way that we get it. Right? Sometimes we have to go on both poles, right? So let's look at energy as having like, two polar ends, right? Like let's look at matter of fact, let's talk about trusting, right? Like trust, relationships with people. So some people in here, um, probably started off codependent, right? Like codependent on people, needing validation. Probably, you cared for your parents. You always had to care for your siblings. You always had to care for everybody else. So you automatically started to neglect yourself and, subconsciously tell yourself you're not as important as everybody else. You don't get to rest unless everybody in the room or everybody around you is happy. This is how people pleasers are born, right? That's all the way on one side of the spectrum or a pole, where you're codependent. And then these people who end up tired of it, they probably meet a narcissist, or they tired of people using them and abusing them, and then they become so independent, where they like, you know what, F everybody, I'm not helping nobody else. They become bitter, they become cold, they close their energy off, and they become hyper independent. They don't trust nobody, only themselves. They isolate, they don't want to be around people, right? And then you realize that even that is not the answer, right? And then some way, somehow, after being at both ends of the spectrum, being hyper codependent, needing other people to validate you, and then being hyper independent where you don't need nobody but yourself, which leads to loneliness or isolation, right? That fortress that Robert Greene talks about in the 48 Laws of Power. You find that middle ground through wisdom. Wisdom is going through different experiences and finally understanding how to use temperance, which is in the tarot, to find balance. I'm giving y'all mad free esoteric knowledge right here. Mad free esoteric knowledge. You don't need an altar for him, Diane. I don't have an altar. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was told I used to have altars in my house and stuff like that, but then the spirit told me, and as I traveled to a lot of places, like when I traveled in Africa, when I traveled in Asia, like I noticed something similar with them. Their infrastructure was like very outdoorsy. Like they had their shrines and stuff outside for the gods. The Kamidana is a spirit house is outside. The spiritual altars was outside in nature, right? Like near a tree, near a river, near a rock. That they put everything like in the woods and stuff. And the only thing that they kept indoors was probably like maybe an ancestral altar or something. But even that was outside. But we have to understand history, right? Like the indigenous people, we had to hide our practices because punishment was death. If you got caught practicing anything, you couldn't do that outside. You had to do that in the house. So that's why we started doing our rituals and having our little hidden altars in the house. That never was a thing. We was always outside. Inside was just for sleeping. We did everything outside with our community. We ate with our community outside. We did our rituals outside together. You know what I'm saying? You don't need an altar. You don't need one. You are the altar. Nature is the altar. If you can't have one in your house because you live with people, you can just build up. You can have a table, set it up, do the ritual, and then once it's done, you just take it down, discard it. But I'm gonna talk more about that in the ritual. Excuse me, tomorrow, right? Like, well, how to open up a ritual, the process of during the ritual, and also closing the ritual, right? Aftercare for the ritual, signs and symbols that it's working. Exactly. Have you tried the 16 penny crossroad ritual, my love? If Saint Expedite didn't come through for you, I have a video that talks about the Papa Legba ritual, right? Just go on YouTube and look up Conjure Queen 16 penny ritual or eliminate debt with 16 pennies. And the videos is going to pop up. There's the original one that I did, I think about like 8 years ago, 7 years ago. And then there's a newer one that I remade, I think a year or two ago. Okay. It's going to give you the instructions on how to go to the rituals with 16 pennies and ask the guardian of the gateways to remove your debt. There are people who have told me that literally they had debt with what's the name of that I forget it, but it's the debt that people owe like for student loans, and their student loans was just forgiven, and she's like, yo, I never paid a penny towards this, but they just sent her a letter saying, hey, your debts is paid up, you're good. it will be glitches in the system where, you know, they won't be able to find your paperwork. Let's say you have some court situation, they're going to lose your paperwork, and it's going to seem like you never even had a warrant, you never even had court. Remember, Mercury, that mercurial spirit deals with the mind, so sometimes it could confuse your enemies. It confuses the court. Thank you, Sally Mae. I couldn't think of it. Same. I learned the ritual from Bobby too, and I always shout out Bobby Hemmett, right? Like I always credit. I don't steal people's stuff, um, because that's what we should do with our teachers. We should give them, you know, the acknowledgement that they deserve. But the thing I did though is I revamped the ritual. Like I made it my own. So Bobby Hemmett gave me the ritual, but then I learned. I said, okay, you know what? How can I remix this so it's, you know, my ritual now? Like how can I make it mine? I started to add little things in it, and it worked for me. Same way, like if you're learning how to bake a cake for the first time, right? You're gonna make a basic ass cake that everybody knows how to make, the basic foundations, you know, like flour, eggs, milk, blah blah blah, sugar. Okay. But then as you continue to bake, you're gonna start getting more crafty with your own recipes. You might add a little bit of cinnamon there. You might be like, you know what? I don't want to add regular milk. I'm gonna add some like oat milk instead. Leave that dairy alone. Like, you know what? If you are vegan, be like, you know what? I don't like using egg. I'm gonna use like applesauce as a binder instead. Like, you start getting creative with it. That's when you really become an alchemist, right? You learning how to work with different ingredients and recipes in order to bring certain results. That's wisdom. You feel me? But that comes through experience. When you a beginner, it's okay to follow the template of somebody else, right? Like, but then you'll get savvy and you'll find your own recipes. You write your own grimoires, your own spell book, your own journal. And y'all should all have a journal. I told all my students, you should have a journal anyway. When you go come on my live, you should be writing things down, because there's books that you got to get, right? Resources you got to look up, videos that I gave y'all references to check out for more information. We got a ritual coming up tomorrow. Like, I'm giving y'all the tools, but it's up to you to use it. Make the ritual your own. Thank you. I have 4 things I want to petition for, but will from not until tomorrow I'll decide which is more important to my needs. So, like I said, if you have more than one, I'm not saying that you can't put it down, but I just feel like he works better when you're very straightforward. Like, say, expedite, I need this amount of money by this time, right? Like, that's how I do my contracts. If you write in a contract with somebody, the more specific you are, the less likely chance it is for misunderstandings or miscommunications, right? When do you need the money by? Give him a deadline. How much do you need? Give him that. Why do you need it? Okay. If you're trying to get a job, okay, what job are you trying to get? How much you trying to get paid from this job? When you trying to start working? A business? Same thing. You trying to get that apartment? Okay, visualize yourself walking in with the key and stuff. Like, you got to see it. What you want that apartment to look like? When do you want to move in? Are you ready to move in? Because he's going to move fast for you. So be ready. He works, I told you, some people say he worked faster than 24 hours before that candle is done burning. You probably going to get some shift or change. There you go. I love that there's so many Bobby Hemmett students in here. I love that. Oh, we should do another Hecate ritual because that last one was powerful, Diane. Thank you for reminding me. I may. Because November, like, we stepping into Gede season. I was even thinking about doing something for Halloween, but you know what? I'm gonna keep y'all posted for those who join the ritual. I'll keep you updated on our next ritual. Oh, we definitely gonna work with the Gede, Dark Goddess. How you been, boo? We definitely gonna work with the Gede during Gede season because Day of the Dead is coming November. The Gede, we got to. We gotta work with the Haitian spirits. We got to now. Well, listen, I think I'm gonna wrap up. If you guys haven't already, once again, like if you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. And also, listen, tomorrow is going to be the group ritual for Saint Expedite Fast Luck, right? If you haven't done a ritual before, it's okay. Like the way that we do the rituals, I do it in a way where it's not too advanced and scary or too fast paced for beginners, and it's also not slow and stagnant for advanced practitioners. It's something that everybody can learn, and it's a fun environment. It's safe, it's fun, and we just have a good time. So feel free to bring your wine, your drinks, your spliff, whatever you need to feel relaxed, your singing bowls, whatever, because it's going to be a vibe. You'll see. But thank you everybody who donated. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you. Shout out to the members, to the moderators, everybody who participated in this live. And thank you for engaging with the chat too. And if you're on Instagram, make sure that you come over here and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I know a lot of y'all probably found me from Instagram over there. But we have a lot of things in the works, and this ritual is going to be powerful, as all of our other rituals have been. And we are going to see results. Ashe, aho. Okay, thank you everybody. I hope you enjoy your night. I am going to get some rest. Get ready for this ritual tomorrow. See the link in the description for the ritual and everything else and all the other information of the books that I told you. All right, y'all. Peace.